Napoleon Bonaparte did not conquer Europe with steel alone. He conquered it with signatures, seal wax, and balance sheets. Behind the thunder of artillery stood a quieter machine. Treasury officials, notaries, bankers, clerks. People who moved numbers the way generals moved regiments. History usually sells us a simpler image. The battlefield genius. The daring marches. The improbable victories. But that is not the full truth. Napoleon's empire rose because he rewired France's money. He understood something most rulers before him failed to grasp. A state can outfight its enemies for a season, but it can only outlast them if it outfinances them. That is the story you were never taught. How a young Corsican, inheriting a ruined treasury after a revolution, rebuilt a financial system strong enough to sustain 15 years of war, law, and modernization. At the end of the 18th century, France was a wreck, dressed in elegance. The monarchy had collapsed under its own debts. For decades, kings borrowed to fund wars and court luxuries, relying on a tax system that exempted the wealthy and squeezed the poor. When the revolution exploded in 1789, it destroyed the political order, but it did not erase the arithmetic. The new regime tried an emergency solution, paper notes called assignats, supposedly backed by confiscated church lands. At first, it felt like magic, liquidity without pain. Then it became inflation without brakes. By the mid-1790s, prices were exploding. Confidence was collapsing. Everyday trade was suffocating under distrust. Armies marched in wooden shoes. Creditors demanded metal, not promises. France had political vision, but no monetary spine. Napoleon enters this chaos in 1799 as first consul. He is 29 years old, a soldier by training, but a systems thinker by instinct. He immediately sees what must come first: credibility. Before you can command an army, you must command a currency. So, he does something radical for a nation still burning from revolution. He creates a bank, not the old regime's fountain of privilege, but a hybrid institution designed to stabilize the state and provide oxygen to the economy. In 1800, the Banque de France is founded. Private investors supply capital. The state grants authority and direction. This mix is deliberate. Purely public money risks politicized printing. Purely private finance risks captured oligarchy. The new bank discounts commercial bills, stabilizes payments, and, crucially, issues banknotes under strict limits. The message is simple. Your money will clear. Your wages will spend. Confidence needs anchors, not speeches. Napoleon provides two. First, he rebuilds the treasury into a professional organism. He appoints the quiet financial genius, Nicolas Francois Molian, to manage public finances with a discipline France had not seen in generations. Cash flows are centralized. Accounts are cataloged. Waste is cut. The state stops improvising and starts accounting. Second, he gives France a new currency with a measurable soul. In 1803, the franc germinal is defined by fixed weights of silver and gold. After years of paper hallucinations, the unit of account once again represents something real. This is not financial fashion. It is a social contract. The baker, the soldier, the supplier, all need to believe that tomorrow's money will mean what today's money means. The franc provides that belief. But money is only as strong as the taxes behind it. Napoleon knows the Bourbon system of tax farming bred corruption and resentment. He abolishes it. The state will collect its own revenue, 4 pillars are tightened and enforced: the land tax, the personal and movable tax, the professional license, and a group of indirect taxes later unified. Inspectors carry notebooks, not bribe bags. Cadastral surveys expand. Taxes are assessed by measured land, not negotiated influence. In 1807, Napoleon creates a supreme audit court. Public money is tracked with the same rigor he demands on campaign. Audit is not an afterthought. It is the nervous system of trust. With the fiscal foundation rebuilt, Napoleon turns to the defining challenge of his age: financing continuous war without repeating the monarchy's ruin. He treats war as a cash flow enterprise. Victories are revenue events. Defeated states pay indemnities. Occupied territories provision the occupying troops. The front pays the front. Channels multiply. Louisiana is sold to the United States. Administrative chaos becomes taxable order. Law, customs, and credit infrastructure expand. But the continental system exposes the limit of coercion. Smuggling spreads. Allies suffer. Britain adapts. Markets find cracks. The state spends treasure sealing them. Coercion extends policy, but cannot replace economics. The stress test arrives with snow. The Russian campaign of 1812 is not just military defeat. It is financial collapse. Men, horses, supplies, credit lost at once. The contribution model reverses. The center drains itself. Even the best treasury cannot outfund reality. Yet the structure survives the man. The bank remains. The franc stands. The audit court counts. France keeps its financial spine. Napoleon's legacy is not conquest alone. It is structure, central banking, stable money, professional administration, predictable law, but also a warning. Systems built on momentum require momentum to survive. When growth, victory, or confidence fails, pressure replaces stability. Money and power remain linked. History does not repeat, but it rhymes. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more history explained through systems, incentives, and power, you may want to subscribe.